Hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to The Pale Beyond. It's no deja vu, we have already covered this. We covered it in pre-release back in the day. I also did a bit of a lengthy overview very recently because I've played a chunk of this offline. The long and short of it is this is a very good game. I highly recommend it. However, there's been requests and my base, generally speaking, enjoys when I do longer form content. It's a lot of what the channel was built on. And so I figured we would start from scratch and set up a bit of a playthrough here. Who knows? It could be a colossal failure or you guys could want 100 episodes. You'll have to let me know. So that's what today is, that we're going to start out from scratch. What you can do is go into this save tree and go into start new expedition. And then we should be good. Off to the races. So yes, do make sure you let me know if you enjoy this and you want to see more. Then that's how you will get more. Okay. Oh, the air bees cold, of flake and white, as a sailor begs their pledge. Out in the ice, they'll stake a claim and carve a course ahead. I like this, it's a good setup. Of homes of glory found and forged in frost, so that their tale be spread. A hunger draws the desperate here. It's one that can't be fed. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I'll lead these souls, so help the gods, out of the pale beyond. Oh, the Temperance. Well, that's not a good start. Begin your journey. Woohoo! Let's go. It's again, I've played a chunk of it. I haven't finished it. But I love it. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition. Months of darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return. Glory to be had in the event of success. Okay. You're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. I'd rather coffee. No, I'm British. It's perfectly adequate. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. It's harmless. I find it rather calming. Which is true. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. It stops. Keep waiting. You hear footsteps climbing the stairs that brought you here. Take a seat. No, remain standing. Come on. Decorum, let's go. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all your teeth? Open my mouth. He's checking for health, right? You got scurvy and all that sort of shit, your teeth fall out of your head. You bare your teeth to the man. Good. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things that you can lose people to. You're speaking from experience. I've not had scurvy before. You're late. I'm going to shake this captain down. I've not had scurvy before, if that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? None? I don't appreciate more than I'd care to admit. Oh yeah, let's be a bit gloomy and mysterious. Can you remember their faces? What are you insinuating? No, I'm ashamed to admit they've faded. No, every single one. Ah, bit of drama. Please, take a seat. Yeah, thank you. I will. The chair is uncomfortably large. The seat feels worn. Oh yeah? Bashing away on the pipe. I'm Captain Hunt. Pleasure's mine, Robin Shaw. On your... Sure. That's me. He nods. On your desk, which ship is that? So, what's the job then? Wait for him to continue. Yeah, no, let him pace it. I hope you weren't waiting too long. I'm told it's worth the wait. It's fine. I'm told it's worth the wait. Let's do that. Let's be a little eager. Good. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad. Interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The advert said there was glory to be had. It all seems a bit convoluted. Keep listening. Months of darkness, low wages, Slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Quite the opposite, it's why I'm here, that's true. Good work is hard to come by. It's to be expected, surely. Yeah, stiff upper lip. I thought it blunt, but it's proven remarkable at weeding out the weak and the pretend. I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Landborn, saltborn. Saltborn, baby! The ocean, the same as yourself. Let's go. The ocean, the same as yourself. I'm salt, born and bred. Military experience? Oh, how could I not? Royal Admiralty? Let's go, baby. For those, maybe you're new to the channel, you missed it, you know, it comes up. I don't mean to bang the drum, but I'm ex-Navy. That was my career before I did YouTube. Royal Admiralty, 2 tours. Under what circumstances did you leave? In one piece? Desertion? Honourably? I mean, let's just go honourably, bloody whatever. Well, we've no stewards to wipe your ass out here. Fair enough. Good. It's probably the worst part of it. You best get used to doing that yourself. Have you ever fired a weapon? Oh yes. Have you ever killed a man? Let's say yes. I see. You're not married, are you? Happily? Of course not. Well, that's irrelevant. Let's say of course not. You'd better not have a death wish. That's a fair point, given what I've given him. One must believe they'll return to justify leaving in the first place. Any less and you're doing yourself a disservice. Let him continue. Oh, gloomy. We're here to find that ship in the bottle. The Viscount. Ever heard of it? Let's go with no, enlighten me. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition toward the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. If they found it, I might have heard of them. Did they? Let's go, did they? Did they what? Did they find it magnetic south? I have no idea. She never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumed lost to the ice. 5 years is a bit late for a rescue. They're probably dead. It's beginning to sound like a suicide mission. And we're supposed to be chasing this ship. Exactly. 5 years sounds a bit late for a rescue. They're probably dead. Alive or not, their research is supposedly of extreme importance. Let him continue. Here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since it first left port. Until now? Yeah, right, what changed? Why are we going now? Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Oh yeah? Where are they now? Dead, but their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship, and that's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and, well, my judge of character has gotten me this far. Okay. What of our crew? Quite the mix, a work in progress. Some I've known for years. They get in on trust and experience. Others, well, they interview. You don't have a full crew already? Not entirely. A different undertaking than usual. We do have transport though. We'll be travelling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty, green wood, generational, not many like it left these days. The Viscount and the Temperance, they're sister ships, built together, sent out into this world to die alone. Poetic? Poetic, I suppose? Indeed. I like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the bottled ship. So what do you think? It's worth it if there's a chance anyone's alive. It sounds like you'll need all the help you can get. It's not much to go on. I'll be honest, he asked what I thought. It is not much to go on, is it? No, it isn't. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I've heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Welcome aboard, Shaw. Proverbially speaking. Don't you need more information? You're not what I expected. So I have the job? What do you think? I'll see you on the Temperance. I have a good feeling about you, Shaw. Oh, thank you, Captain. The captain makes his way to the door, and you follow. Alright, you arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship. The letters on the side read Temperance. Approach the Temperance. You walk the cobble to the boarding ramp. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. A military gate. You must be Hunt's pick for first mate. Templeton. I like his sideburns, eh? I figured he'd keep it in the ranks. Good man. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton, a pleasure. Why wouldn't I shake his hand? Fuck me. You accept his offer for a handshake. It's a considered shake. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team at you and the captain's disposal. Oh, I'm fairly certain we're all just get out of here. What did you specialize in? Applied botany. Ah. Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up to the task. Some of the layabouts Hunt hired are questionable at best. No doubt I needn't inform you of your duties. You're second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite the task ahead. The rabble I've spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you'll have to whip into shape. Punctuality, schedule, a strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organised sort. You would not have been assigned the role otherwise. Speak like you're in charge? No. He's just back briefing me. I have more than enough experience with a crew of this nature. I likely have more in common with the crew than I do yourself, Mr. Or why barb it? There you go. I have more than enough experience with a crew of this nature. That is comforting to hear. It would seem for most of the crew the captain favoured personal history over expertise. It is good to know that he found the capable sort for such a vital role. Let me know when you are ready to depart. I'm certain you are eager to be back on the ocean. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. Okay, what's going on here? A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Right, what's back here? The city. You'll be gone for quite a while. It will be some time before you see the city again. Okay. The Temperance. Jeez, look at it. It's beautiful. Hunt's description of the ship was accurate, near identical to the Viscount, barring some modern additions. Alright, set sail. Let's slip, boys. Week 1 on the Temperance. Oh yeah? What? It's a bit loud. It's been a month. Oh, hang on. We already had that. I'll lead these souls to help us got out the pavilion. First mate Shaw, personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on and 1 week since we've set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. The Temperance. The Admiralty has nothing like this. She's magnificent, a technical marvel, elegant machinery expertly weaved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. Who's paying for this? I am curious, actually. I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all this. Certainly not the captain. Such exquisite modifications to the ship mustn't have come cheap. I should investigate further. It's none of my business. The crew, however, let's pivot to that. The crew, however, are a different story. There are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. The crew are a strange lot. I've sailed with worse. The Admiralty has had its rot just like anywhere else. As for its master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. I trust the captain. I'm not sure what to make out of our leader. I need to know if I can trust him. I trust him. He seems pretty, gruff but pointed, which, how can you not rate that? The captain seems a trustworthy sort. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make it out the other end of naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his vigor. Though he's impulsive, he's not telling the whole truth. I've heard the rumors. Drinking, desertion. There's probably a good reason he's dressed in antiques. Ooh. I do find myself warming to the man. That is true. Sign off. Okay, cool. Bloody diary entry simulator. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Joe. Captain wants you at the helm. Good, I want to see him. I'll head there now. He leaves. So, we've got, what's this, crow's nest? Currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join at next port. Right, we've got the forecastle. The forecastle door appears to be locked. Oh, what's this? Captain's cabin. The door to Hunt's cabin is shut tight. The captain himself is busy at the helm. Well, let's go chat with him. You ascend the stairs to the stern and find the old captain manning the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin! Lovely day for it, isn't it? One of your lackeys summoned. You see, what is this bullshit? Grumbly. That's not really a choice for me. I guess unless you're just trying to be an edgy boy and pick all negative answers. Don't you have a helmsman for that? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's days like these I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Too old to stomach a storm? Let him continue. We'll just let him go, right? I don't want to interrupt him. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Colonial. Did you ever take the helm in the Admiralty? Never felt right not to for me. Oh, absolutely. Here, why don't you have a try? Take the wheel. Let's go, baby. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Pan around. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ship and the wind. Easy. There you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. You can zoom. Just the most gentle zoom ever. I turned it up as high as I could, but that's a full mouse wheel, each of those bumps. Peaceful, isn't it? Panning and zooming speeds here. Bullshit. Not really. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I'll drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There's much to do. Okay, sure. Let's do that. Oh, a tub. A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had on the ice. A classic painting depicting sailors doing battle with a kraken. An ode to an old folk story of the great Captain Seamus's dance with the Salt Kings. On the desk you make out a variety of papers, notes and maps, as well as a sealed letter with a stamp that you don't recognise. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Yeah, good. Okay, so take requests. And this is part of the sort of gameplay loop going forward, is sort of holding counsel for the crew. You take a seat at the end of the room, the captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there's 23 souls signed on to this expedition, ourselves included. There's 16 free to be assigned to tasks if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed to their permanent stations. Yeah, so there's a chunk of them that are dedicated specialists. that essentially are full-time doing whatever that is, as opposed to being free labour hands. You're only able to deploy crew who you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at next port. The lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will end tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. So that's the sort of health bar for the entire expedition. With enough provisions for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, crew will become malnourished. I wonder how many crew become malnourished. It didn't say specific. Maybe it is only one? I don't know. Unless cured, the malnourished status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. Yeah, so you don't want that. But essentially, you get malnourished, as I understand it, gives you a little bit of breathing room, right? So you've still got a week to sort that out before the bloke dies. And more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Colder temperatures will increase the minimum fuel required at the end of the week. If you cannot afford the minimum fuel, crew will become freezing. Unless cured, freezing status will develop into frostbite, a severe effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. The sledding dogs, well, there's still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sledding teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts out further requires a greater amount of dogs. They will rest and become available during the weeks. Cool, good to know. Now on to work. Corvid or Cordell? I don't know, we'll start with Corvid. A sailor enters. We found a stowaway in the lower hold. Oh, bring him in. Another sailor enters leading a young man by their side. You know, you're not the first stowaway that I've had. The captain studies them further. You know where we're heading, don't you? I do, sir, says the runt. The ice. Did you know that before you climbed inside the crate? I did, sir. Ha, how old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true, I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your jib boom from your bowsprit? I do. I learned it all from me dar. Your dar? He's Ward's son. Followed him on board into in the city. What should we do with him, Captain? Well, sure. Hunter eyes you up. So he's the son of one of the sailors. Your first mate. What should we do with him? I keep him aboard. He's not staying on board. It's your decision to make. Well, more dudes. Well, I guess more mouths to feed as well, right? Also, his dad's probably like, it's actually a cool problem, right? Because his dad's gonna be pissed. Well, I don't know his dad, but surely his dad will be pissed at the whole situation. But now that the kid's here, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do, especially in this time period? You're gonna leave him in an outpost and what? Tell him to go home on his own somehow? Are we gonna kick the dad off as well? I mean, it's an impossible situation. I'd keep them aboard. Hunt squints. Why? You need all the help that you can get. This young man wants to help. He's clearly here because his father is. It would be wrong to separate them again. We don't have the time to accommodate this. If the boy wants to freeze to death, let him. No, you need all the help you can get. This young man wants to help. Alright, boy, consider yourself part of the crew. Be sure to keep your nose clean and follow orders. I will, thank you, sir. Captain, not sir. Aye, Captain. Okay. Sir's fine as well. Well, I guess it's his captaincy, he can say what he wants. The stowaway joins the two sailors below deck, now a member of the crew. Well, it seems the litter has a new runt. I hope the rest won't mind sharing their rations. So our crew's actually increased. And I'm pretty sure we could have just, you know, it's not a forced situation. I think we could have put him and the dad off the boat. What of the father? What of the father? Simple, split their pay and their rations. Any rations the boy should take from it? No. I doubt he intended for this to happen. We'll keep an eye on them both. Yeah, exactly. There's no malice in this other than a kid wanting to follow his dad to sea. I suppose you're right. Well, that matter's sorted. Okay, so let's deal with Cordell. Have you agreed upon my conditions? And I like that all the different people, they have different backgrounds that also match their colour, and you'll find that they pertain to their parts of ship as well, right? Like the scouts are red, the science officers are sort of like a rich blue. It's cool. Sure, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with the kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she would train them up until we part ways at the nearest island. But you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I have no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for my whole kennel, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest, and never before has a seller made such strong demands. Lady Cordell. A moniker given to me by the locals of the city, on account of her vernacular. I find it odd that you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Regardless, sure, she demands we allow her to come along on the expedition as a member of the crew. None of this ship have the experience and familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, sure. We've just accepted a stowaway. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? Yeah, see, it's a lot of crew, but she makes a good point. The dogs will probably die without her. I don't see the harm in having an expert. We should cancel the deal if you're so adamant. No. If we're going to accept it, we shouldn't do it as a pouty child. I don't see the harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. A good point, sure. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with extensive training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to haul them. And I would like to ensure my dogs are treated properly. I hope you're as experienced as you claim. Don't expect the crew to waste time taking care of your mutts. Welcome aboard. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Exactly. Yeah, we don't need more bad cops. I'm going to be nice. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge should prove valuable. Invaluable. That's fair enough. I'll have a room prepared for you below deck. No need. You'll find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Sean. Alright. Finish requests. Oh, we got 14 doggies as well. Now that's all settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet me up deck after dinner? Hefty lads, red hair. You couldn't mistake them for another. Oh, right. They're not Stokers. Their surname is Stoke. Okay, that's a bit of a throw because the Stoker is the engineering spot on a ship. So that's confusing. An urgent matter, the Stoke brothers. Do you require me for this meeting? No. This isn't a matter the first officer need to concern themselves with. They'll be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Okay, sure. Let me loose, baby. Now, I'm not 100% sure. What we might do is just power through and finish the week, because I know that it will save after that. I'm not certain. Let's check the forecastle where the dog chick is. No, door's locked. You can hear the kennel master preparing the room inside. Alright, who's this? Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balancing on the ship's mast with her camera lining up a photo. Get down immediately or you'll kill yourself. How's the view up there? Wait for it. I'm not interrupting her while she's doing. Like what? Why scream at this idiot civilian camera person? You'll just get them killed. Snapping a shot, she clambers down, only noticing you on her landing. Oh, Officer Shaw, it's about time I met the first officer of this ship. Kasha Belford. Yes, I've heard of you already. You seem to already know my name. No, nice to meet you, Kasha. Again, let's try and be pleasant. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there's a shot that you just cannot pass up. Oh, yeah, okay. Apologies, but fuck you. I'm going to do whatever I want anyway. Don't you love those sort of people? I'm sorry that you feel that way, not that I'm actually sorry. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belford won the Fentler Prize, the highest honour in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. That's pretty cool. It came as a surprise to many that such a reputable journalist would take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of Hunt or the benefactor turning her away. You expected someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely her first time on the sea like this. She's not prepared for this. Her proof is all we have. Her accomplishments surely outweigh her youth. Her proof is all that we have. That's probably the best response. Unless we devise a way to bring the Viscount back with us, her proof is all that we have. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Oh my god. I'll let her continue. For the piece on this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like a work of an amateur. This isn't a game. It sounds fine to me. I am not the creative type. I'm sure you'll know better. There we go. True. Kasha tilts her head and grits her teeth, holding an inner debate with herself. Oh my god. Artists, man. Maybe not. How about Hunt's Incredible Voyage? Too fantastical? I suppose I'll find the right name when the time comes. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? Apologies, I'm just a little excited. I've never been on a voyage like this. I suppose someone of your experience finds it all boring at this point. A trip to the ice may seem dull compared to the Royal Admiralty. You have that right. I'm not averse to thrills. You know who I'm not averse to thrills. Well, I hope we have some coming this way. I'm hoping to capture something right out of Kurt Darling's old escapades. That reminds me, he'll be joining us at the next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. Oh, got a photo. Please warn me before doing that. How long do they take to develop? Captain, want me to... Oh no, how long do they take to develop? I'm curious. Only a day or two. I've made a makeshift dark room in the hold. Speaking of photographs, she hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. So, here we go, all the little crew, and the ones that we've met so far. So there we go. Timmy the Runt, we've met him. Met these sailors. No scouts yet, haven't met the engineers, scientists, we've got specialists. There's me with my head scrubbed out. And then you've got like items in your inventory here too. Cool. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain's forbidden me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. Do something like that, stunt a mask, you'll be removed of your camera. Thank you, Kasha. Again. She's not really part of the crew, let's treat her sweetly enough. She smiles. I'll not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots that I want to get before the sun lowers anyhow. Safe shots, officer, don't worry. You leave her to her work. Okay. What's going on over here? You spot a large man with a youthful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relative ease. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. Two Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you'll get your nickname later. Two Johns attempts to offer a handshake, but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Maybe later. Work awaits. John added to the list. Nice. Alright, what else have we got going on? So explore the ship a little. We don't have a lot available to us just yet. And talk to this bloke. Approach the cook. You find yourself almost knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful, careful! You almost got drenched in broth. Oh, apologies, I'm in a hurry. No, you're the ship's cook. You should be more careful. No. You're the ship's cook, are you not? Indeed I am, and I've got a full plate on my hands, pardon the pun. You hear a roar from the other side of the door. "Oi, what's holding you up?" The cook shakes his head with a smile and chuckles slightly to himself. He grabs a large pot and prepares to make his way to the hungry crew before turning his head to you. "If you don't mind, could you carry that tray of biscuits behind me?" Do I look like a cook? No, of course I'll help him. You gotta endear yourself to the crew somehow. You grab the plate and follow the cook out the door and to the tables where the crew are waiting with bated breath. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer, the ship's cook placing the broth upon the table. "Trust me, fellas, this one's worth it, or worth the wait." The cook speaks with a tone of pride as he ladles the broth into the bowls of the crew. "Oi, one at a time, you animals. Ward, you're awful handsy for only one arm." "Ah, piss off, Junior." "Got some bread here too. Grab it fast before Tucker beats you to it." The crew laugh and are merry as Junior guides you back through the kitchen. You seem popular. Well, you know what they say about the hand that feeds. Besides, half the crew I've known for years. You don't spend that much time on a ship with folk without learning all about them. Okay. You're Junior. I take that to mean Hunt told you about me. Sent you to fetch me, did he? Did he not give a description, or were you not paying attention to the cook? Or were you just not paying attention to the cook? Well, Hunt wished to see you. Have you been travelling with Hunt long? Yeah. My brother and I are among Hunt's most tenured crew. It's not often he'll hire outsiders, but I suppose this job is too big for the usual suspects. Ah. Okay. What do you mean we weren't properly introduced? His name's Junior, I get it. Well, Hunt wants to see you as soon as possible. Ah yes, good old Hunt. Never a rest on this ship, let me tell you, especially when Hunt takes a liking to you. Yeah, so a lot of the crew are very familiar, right? So this isn't a military vessel, it's not formalities or... Like if you've watched The Terror, which this is borrowing heavily from, that's a lot more formal. This is run a lot more loose. So then you do this, and this essentially heralds the end of the day, where you feed everyone. It passes in relative silence. We go to the evening. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. What's going on here? Over dinner, you overhear the newly picked up stowaway speaking with a one-armed man. It's his dad, and he's got his cover up as well. That's kind of cute. But you're lucky Hunt didn't throw you overboard. Half a mind to do that myself. Oh, come on, I'm here to help. Better know that involves work. Don't expect special treatment. Oh, I won't. You're an impossible child, Timmy. Alright, so it adds him to the manifest now that I've met him. Cool. Who's this bloke? You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the mid-deck, searching through some luggage that has been pulled from a cabin. Mr. Gloss. And see, this uniform, like Templeton's, is science crew. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He notices you. Officer Shaw, correct? Dwight Glossley. Apologies, I seem to have misplaced something while settling in the cabin. A bottle of wine, actually. Best not be drinking on the job. Can't be hard to miss, it will turn up eventually. Oh, I would hope so. And see how his background matches his sort of part of ship. My wife and I brought the bottle to celebrate with, to be saved for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Okay, cool. I believe this is my cabin here. As you look over the railing out to the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine and spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth and a sheet of paper in his hand overlooking the stirring waters. Smoking sailor. Looking at something? Who are you? Not many sailors can read or write. What's the letter? A letter. All you need to know. Tashi. After introducing himself, Tashi falls silent and begins to read the letter. Trying to draw conversation from him may be similar to extracting tea. Okay, that's fine. The man can keep to himself. Anything going on in the captain's quarters? The door to Hunt's cabin is shut tight. Captain himself has turned in for the evening. You spot Templeton looking out into the sunset as you approach. He turns to you and nods. Officer Shaw, it will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern pole is quite a change. Sentimental? Sentimental? Oh, in a sense. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the stirring waters of the ocean. There is great expectation upon us, officer. Are you feeling the pressure? Do you think Captain Hunt is up to the task? From who? Who is this benefactor of ours? Oh. That is not for you to know, not yet. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the ocean's surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite the sight, but I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer be well rested. So you can hold E, and then off you go. And then you feed everyone at the end. None. It's probably not good for rations. Half or normal? What we'll do is we'll do normal, right? Even though maybe I'm playing dumb a little, it doesn't seem that we would get much of a penalty other than loss of decorum if we dropped it down. But as far as enjoying the adventure and role-playing it, right? First week at sea, normal is the normal rations, so normal is what we will get. Ship makes its last port at Orca Island. Cordell's sledding dogs are picked up. The scouting crew and Kurt Darling are picked up. The days are getting brighter as you move farther south. And I think that's it saving. Saved game to treat. Alright, perfect. So we will resume here. If you guys do want to see more, a bit of a longer first episode, but I figured we might as well cover more than we've covered openly on the channel before. This game's so good. I really, really enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoy it too. I do know that we've done some more text-heavy visual novel sort of stuff in the past, like Vagris, for example, and it's usually well received. So hopefully that's the same here. So let me know if you do want to see more. Otherwise, we might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.